two, one. All right, welcome everybody to the Talk is Real podcast. This is episode number 1. I'm excited for this episode. Why? Because low key, I've been procrastinating on this. I've been trying to start my own podcast for so long now. Bro, it's taken forever. But today is the day we officially launch the Talk is Real podcast. So,
Let's
with that being
go.
said, I want to introduce our very first guest of the night. So, this guy, man, he's like a spiritual mentor to me. This guy, he is gifted in so many areas from singing to leading so many ministries that I've seen him lead. He does such a great job to even preaching, man. You do a great job at preaching. So, guys, without further ado, please welcome Joe Baez.
Hey.
Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. How you doing, bro?
I'm great, bro. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
I know,
It's an
man.
honor.
Low key, man. I apologize. You probably went through a lot of traffic coming here.
Go to Southern California,
I know.
Gotta love it.
I know. For those of you that don't know, he's actually in Texas right now. How's the Texas lifestyle, bro?
It's really good. It's really good. It's a lot slower. There's
Yeah.
definitely not as much traffic.
I bet, bro.
But it's good, man. It's a good change of pace.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
bro.
But I miss you guys, man.
Yeah, bro. I love Texas. Personally, I've been wanting to go to Texas. It was cool visiting you in January.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, sir, of course.
Yeah, but we went to Dallas. I've been to Dallas. I've been to Houston. People are just so amazing over there. Like, people are so nice. The area's just so clean. You go to the freeways, it's
Yeah.
much cleaner over there. And then, for example, right, I'll give you an example, right? You come here and it's like, it has its goods, but it also has its bads. And so, would I leave California for Texas? Me personally, I don't know. I grew up here, but I think I'm being a little biased there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. But with that being said, bro, I just wanna, I wanted to have you here, bro, because like I was talking to, someone earlier today. You're like my spiritual mentor, man, and I'm like, who can I have on this podcast? My first ever guest, and I'm like, let's have Joe, man, here on Talk is Real.
Talk is real.
Talk is real,
Love
bro.
the name, man. That's so good.
I know, man. I'm like, what should I name this podcast? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's gonna be a podcast where I'm gonna have different people, different leaders, different even pastors. I already have a list of people I want to have, and so I'm like, people that are gonna keep it real, right? People that are gonna get to know a lot better. So I was.
Is that where you came up with the name? The
yeah,
Talk is Real?
Talk is Real. That's where I came up with it, man.
That's
And
good.
I know Joe. If you guys know anything about Joe, he keeps it real.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. So Joe, just share a little bit about yourself. Like, who is Joe?
Who is Joel? That's a broad question. I like it. Joel, who is Joel? Well, like everybody can relate. We're all still trying to figure that out.
I know.
But on a serious, I was born in Mexico.
Okay.
My parents they immigrated from Mexico.
Right.
I can't pretend to know that much about Mexico because I really don't. I was 11 months old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up in San Bernardino, California.
Okay.
The locals call it the Dew.
Dew.
San Bernardino, San Bernardino.
The Dew.
The Dew.
San
Call
Bernardino.
it the Nor right here, right?
Yeah,
What
man.
what do they call it here at Lake Elsinore?
They call it the LE, bro.
The LE.
The LE. I call it just Lake Elsinore. Or like I tell people, you'll say the Lake Elsinore, you'll say the Lake El Señor.
El Señor. You gotta give it that little añe right there.
Yeah, bro.
Because we're Latinos.
Yeah, man. You gotta add it, bro.
But over there we call it the San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, man.
Yeah. So I grew up over there. Well, actually, I briefly lived in Colton for a little bit.
Okay.
Then I moved to San Bernardino.
Yeah.
When I was about maybe 10 years old. So, I could say I was raised there.
Yeah.
So went to elementary school, middle school, Pacific High School for everybody that lives around here. So it was pretty rough, but I came to know the Lord on my was it freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So not too young, but not too old either. So I was the president of the Alive Club at Pacific High School my senior year. That my first year of being a Christian. Didn't know a lot about the word.
Yeah.
But I tried my best, man.
That's good, man.
Yeah. But then Yeah, after that, I stayed in San Bernardino pretty much until we met, until what, last year
Yeah.
or 6 months ago when we moved to El Paso.
Wow, bro.
Yeah,
That's awesome, bro. And I've known you for 3 years. I met you at the
three
Way World
years.
Outreach. My church, your former church, bro. It's
Yeah,
I remember you're like one of the first people I met, and it was awesome. Like I was looking for a home myself, and I was looking for just friends myself, for a spiritual leader, and I found it in you, man. And so I was like, man, this guy's legit. And then from
yeah,
you, like I feel like you introduced me to a lot of people at the Wayward Outreach,
yeah.
our church, and it's amazing, bro. Because from there you left, like I feel like even though you're in Texas right now, you left a legacy at the church.
Oh, wow.
And then like you going to Texas, even though you left, the fact that you left, it like opened up a lot for me because you showed me a lot. And so like you leaving, I feel like I kind of took over in a lot of things
Yeah,
that
you really did.
you left behind. But now you're on to bigger and greater things, man. And I know, God's really using you over there. And man, I know one thing is for sure, bro, is when you come visit, it's amazing, bro.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, bro, you gotta come visit us, man. And you guys just come here, and you guys already gone on your nice adventures to LA on the,
Yeah.
what is it, the train, right? The
The
metro?
metro, which you taught us how to, and then
Yeah,
back to the honeymoon thing. We
yeah.
we got to visit the Empire State Building thanks to you.
Oh, let's go,
Appreciate
man.
that. Let's
I was
go.
like, what would be a perfect wedding gift? I'm like, wait, they are going to New York.
Yeah,
What can I get them in New York? And I'm like, oh, should I get them a bike tour? I'm like, no, man, I gotta make sure they get something good with a good view. So I'm like,
yeah,
let me see if they like the Empire State Building. I was like, you know what? I'm just buy 2 tickets and give it to you guys. And you guys
yeah.
went
That was
all the way to the
perfect.
top of the Empire State Building,
All
and
the way to the
you guys
top.
got that beautiful view at night, right?
Yes, that was
Yeah,
perfect at night. Yeah, you get to see the whole city from there.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
You
so
you
good.
fear heights or not?
No, not at
Okay,
all.
bro.
Not at
Because
all. Especially
when
when
I
you're behind the glass, you're good.
dude, the whole time I was up there, I was like shaking for like 10 minutes. I
No
was like,
way. I didn't know you were afraid of heights.
yeah, bro. And that place is like tall. Like the
It
Empire,
is.
if I'm not mistaken, is like first or second tallest building in the United States. So
Yeah,
I
it's
looked
really
down and
tall.
I'm like, I did it. Should I like go down right now or should I enjoy it? And so I was like
You might
shaking. I
as
was holding
well.
on to things, bro, because the Empire State Building is tall.
It
And
is
then
really
at
tall.
night it's cold. So I'm like, this is a little scary, but I overcame my fear, right?
Hey, that's how you do
Yeah,
it. That's awesome.
that's how
I
we
didn't
do
know
it,
that
bro.
about. See, I just learned something about you new.
Yeah, bro. I feel like we learn something about each other every
Time we
single time we
meet.
hang out, bro.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah, but New York, man, I want to go back this year.
Yeah,
It was a little hard because like with the whole like lockdowns. I went during COVID, like right in 2020, right?
yeah,
Like when they had just opened New York back up, I went. It was hard because everything was closed. You
yeah,
couldn't really enjoy it that much. There wasn't too many people, even though it's better without people. But at the same time,
yeah.
you need that vibe, like that to be in New
It's a
York.
whole experience. Yeah,
Exactly. You
yeah.
need that like New York vibe of just a lot of people in the subways. It's like hard to explain, but it's cool. But when I went, it felt like a ghost town. Like you were in New
Oh,
York,
really?
half of the restaurants were closed.
Wow.
Everywhere you would go, even outside, people would be like, "Put your mask on." I'm like, but it's like humid right now. It's like 100 degrees of humidity. I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't handle it. So I didn't enjoy it that time. But I've
yeah.
been in New York in the past before COVID. It's one of the best cities you ever go
What
to.
time of the year did you go in 2020?
So in 2020, I went in July, so it was hot. And imagine a mask
Oh,
at the time in
wow.
2020, you needed to have your mask on, like even if you're outdoors. If you took off your mask in New York, it's crazy over there. Like they'll all like the they'll all like tell you you need to put your mask on.
Oh,
And
wow.
then they started getting the vaccine requirement. I'm not even gonna get into all that stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I can't go to New York right
And it was
now.
only 4 months, about 4 months, right
Four
after
months
after it
after the
started.
lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you know how they got hit hard over there?
yeah,
So it was like bad. Like it was like not the best place to go. Honestly,
yeah,
I should have gone to like Florida or something,
yeah.
Texas,
Texas, you should have
something,
gone to
bro.
Texas,
But
man.
yeah, man. But now, man, I hear everything's open up again.
Yeah,
They're not strict on that no more. It's like back to normal. I'm
yeah,
seeing that like about just everything in regards to COVID is we're going back to normal. They were saying like 4 or 5 years from now, from 2020,
yeah.
but 2 years later, I feel like everything's back to normal, right?
Well, actually, we went about a year later because it was in July. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, July 19th. Diana remembered our anniversary.
Hey.
So brownie points. So July 19th. So it was exactly a
Yeah.
year later. And yeah,
Yeah.
everything was like perfectly back to normal. Of course, like in the subways and in
Mhm.
the airplanes, we still have to use our masks.
Yeah.
because federal mandates are still the same. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like I feel like thank God we had the full experience of New
Yeah.
York. Streets were back to normal, and
That's good, man. No, yeah,
yeah,
I definitely need to go back to New York, man.
yeah,
My favorite part, I don't know why, it's just being in the subways.
yeah.
It's just
They're
like,
really clean. I was surprised
yeah, they're
for
way
being
cleaner.
used so much.
Yeah, go to LA, go to over there at the same time, you'll feel different.
There's a big difference,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
And you actually showed me how to use the subway system in LA,
Yeah,
and it
man.
helped us out a lot.
Yeah, man. Now you
Thank
guys
you.
go to LA every time you guys come back to
Yeah,
California.
you're my travel coach, man.
That's
That's
how we
you.
do it,
Let's
bro.
go.
Travel coach, man. No, man. I love traveling, bro.
Yeah,
So I'm trying like by 30, I'm
yeah.
trying to hit all 50 states.
Oh
So like I've
wow.
hit like I think like 13 states already.
Oh
I've
wow.
been to a lot. Like I can't name them all from the top of my head, but I've traveled all around like the US, at least to the big cities right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start hitting the small cities pretty soon.
yeah.
One place I haven't gone that I'm shocked about is Washington D.C. I've never been there
Oh,
before.
it's super close to New York. Well, it's like
Yeah,
East Coast. Yeah,
yeah. So I heard you can even take a train, and it's not even expensive from there, and it's not far. It's like 2 3
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
So
It's
that's what
really
I'm gonna
good.
do next time I go to New York. I'm gonna do a little
You
train
should
over
do
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
And then there's so many trains, and like just the transportation system is amazing over there.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah,
really
man. It's
awesome.
easier, quicker.
Yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
went. We actually stayed in Pennsylvania, and we took a train to Jersey,
Yeah.
and then we took a train up to New York. We didn't have to drive through all
For
that
reals, bro.
craziness.
It's crazy, man. Like how here in California, what do you make of all that, bro? Like, what if California had that train station like done? You know how it's over there in New York?
Yeah,
Everything's through train, metro, whatever. Here, it's like everything. Everyone like drives everywhere. You
yeah,
experience it right now.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
like what should have been like a 40-minute drive for Joe. What was it like an hour and like something minutes?
Yeah, so it's about an hour and a half. So that's about how long it took us to get from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. It
Wow.
took for me to drive from San Bernardino or Rialto area. You guys
Yeah.
are, familiar with the area,
Yeah.
to get to Lake Elsinore, Riverside County.
Yeah.
Just to get from one county to another,
Mhm.
across like from one state all the way to the other.
Yeah, bro. Man,
Yeah,
I hopefully in the future, man,
yeah.
I can go from Lake Elsinore where I live at right now to like LA in a train. That'd be cool,
Oh,
man.
that would be awesome,
Yeah,
man.
man. We'll see. Ooh, drop my mic.
Drop the mic. Hey, drop. Hey, you literally dropped the mic right there.
I dropped it. That's how good that line was. I'm just
Hey, there
kidding.
you go.
I'm like, there we go. I'm just kidding.
LE to LA. There you go.
LE to
Drop the mic.
LA. Oh, yeah. Say that again. LE to LA.
Boom.
That's cool, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man. So
That's how
that's
I
so
wish.
awesome, bro. That the fact that you just came with a humble heart, bro. You're looking for like a new chapter in your life. You said
Yeah,
God told you this. I want you to go where nobody knows you, man. And then
yeah,
before you knew it, I feel like God showed you a lot, did a lot through you through the first few months at the way.
yeah,
Then you ended up even meeting your wife.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
man.
about a
Your
year
your
later.
girlfriend at the time, now your wife, man.
Now my
And
wife.
I
Yeah,
remember when I met you guys, I was like, I like you introduced me to her.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, she's actually like, you guys make such a great like couple. You guys are
I
reaching the
appreciate
kingdom
that.
together. From the young adults to where I met you guys to, now, man, doing great things in Texas. So
Yeah.
that's cool, man. Tell us a little
Awesome.
bit about who Diana is. How'd you guys meet?
Oh
Yeah, that's
man,
always the
that's
most
a,
interesting topics, man. Like, how'd you meet the love of your life?
the love of my life.
Yeah.
Man,
Or
that
shout out
was
to Diana if
shout
you're
out to
watching.
Diana.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, Diana, she is genuine in herself.
She's one character, I'll tell you
She is a
that.
character.
She's
I'll
a
tell you
character.
that. No,
Yeah.
she's really awesome.
Amazing.
And that actually that's what stood out to
Yeah.
me about Diana.
Yeah.
So we met at a young adults. So if you want to meet your partner, stay connected, stay plugged in.
Hey.
You want to meet them where you want, you want to meet them in an environment where you would want them to, if you want a good person, meet them
Yeah.
in a good environment. You want a
Right.
bad for,
Hmm.
you're gonna meet them in a bad environment.
Exactly.
So yeah, Diana and we met at uh, I forgot what they call it, an impact night.
Yeah.
It was just, how they name them like these trendy
Yeah.
little cool stuff in the young adults.
Yeah.
So they would call them the impact nights,
Okay.
and it was at a member of the church's house. It was a
Yeah.
pool party.
That's
It was
awesome.
Hawaiian theme,
Right.
and yeah, so I met everybody, and everybody was kind of being quiet. Everybody was kind of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And then there was this one girl. It's like her sister had actually Fernanda, her
Yeah.
sister, had actually just won the competition for cooking,
Hmm.
and she was so supportive. She's like, "That's my sister." I can't
I could.
scream it in the mic, or else you'll
You
never be
saying
able
that,
to fix
I
it.
like imagine her voice saying that right now.
You know exactly
Yeah.
what that would sound like. That's my sister. So she was like super excited. I'm like, that was the
Yeah.
first one where she got my attention.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then but I was going to the discipleship classes with her sister
Right.
Fernanda. You
Hmm.
remember the discipleship classes back then? They were called Starting at the Way. Right now, Holy
Oh, okay.
Warriors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Those classes, by the way, man, they'll change your life. So if you're going to
they
the
really
way
will.
and you're watching this video and you've never like attended a Holy Warriors class or starting at the way, how they
Yeah,
used to call it, whatever, I recommend you guys join the classes, man. You'll get some knowledge of the word. You'll get some freedom. It's amazing. And so yeah, back to what you were saying. I had to throw a little plug in.
oh, you got to, man, you got to. But yeah, they really are life changing. So I was
Yeah.
taking them for the first time ever. I
Okay.
believe Diana and Fernanda were taking it for the first time.
Yeah.
So I was taking the I forget, it was called Purpose. It was called Purpose at the Way back
Yeah.
then, but it was part of the starting classes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, so Purpose at the Way, and Diana had stayed behind
Yeah.
to take a class with somebody that they knew back then, just to kind of
Yeah.
encourage them to continue taking them. So I had met Fernanda, and
Mm.
then I recognized her at
Yeah.
the Impact Night, and she was
Mm.
the one that had won the competition.
Yeah.
The story's kind of hard to follow along. Like, I have to introduce the
Yeah.
characters in the story.
No, that's good.
So yeah, Fernanda was the one who won, and that was her sister. So afterwards, I recognized her and I congratulated her, and her
Wow.
sister was there with her, and she's like, "Hi, how are you doing? Oh my god!"
Eh,
It's like, "Wow, so you're the one that you're going at Purpose at the Way. How do you like that you're?"
yeah.
So her energy was just like, it was like, oh, like, wow, this is
Yeah.
nice.
Hey, you're probably like, that's a good excuse to talk to her sister Diana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, oh, that's the one that stood out to me. I gotta talk
Yeah.
to this one more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we after that we developed a friendship, because you just I liked her energy.
Yeah.
um so after that, we just started, just hanging out more in
Hmm.
group settings, and
Yeah.
like just doing ministry, you run into the same kind of people. You have the
Right.
same heart, you're going to run into the same circles.
Yeah.
So it was really good. So
Yeah.
after that we just got closer,
Exactly.
and yeah, the rest is history.
The rest is history, man. Now
Yes,
they're here
sir.
traveling all over the world.
All over.
Oh, it's cool, bro, that we get to have you here this week. Well, tomorrow's your last day, but you were here
Yeah,
for a whole week, right?
a whole week, and then 3 weeks ago I was here for another whole week and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, man.
man, it's so cool.
It's awesome,
I love
man.
being back.
It's awesome always having you back, bro.
Yeah,
Like
appreciate that.
you being here, and like it reminds me of like my first times when I was new to the church. You and
Mhm.
Diana were like the first people I really got close to at the church.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't really
remember
know
that.
anybody at the way, and I was like, for a while, I was trying to like I have heard about the way, but I
Yeah.
was like, how am I gonna get connected here at this church? And then I go. I didn't tell you this, but like one time I went to the church like for a bridge young adult service,
Uh-huh.
but I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know anybody there. What am
Yeah.
I gonna do, right? And then I end up like when I drive to the church, I'm at the parking lot. Like, should I go in or should I leave? I just end up driving back home.
Oh, you don't? No way! I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, bro. And then the next month, I was like, you know what? This time I want to go because this church, I know it's amazing.
Yeah,
And this
it
time when
really
I
is.
go, I get down and I, take a chance and just go to the service, and I receive so much of what I needed to
Wow,
hear.
that's
It's like
awesome.
God was like speaking straight to me, bro.
Yeah.
And then, I remember one time, one of the first times I went to the church, you like, I went to the altar call and you were like the first person to pray for me.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, low key, like, dude, this guy is like, man, should I even tell him half of my problems? And I told you a little bit about what I was going through, man.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot what I was going through, but I know I was broken. I was just like, bro, I just need prayer and also to have a better relationship with God. You prayed for me and you gave me some great advice, man. I just felt like that genuosity from you, bro. Like
That's good.
you're how generous you were, man. And outside that day, man, I'll never forget, man. And then another month we go to TGI Fridays is where
Yeah.
we all got like close.
So it was a month before, and then the next month you went to the Bridge Young Adult
Something like
service.
that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just bad with dates, but it was something like
Same, man.
that. And then like at TGI Fridays, we go with all the young adults to
Yeah.
eat. bro, I was thinking like you guys are all probably all like serious, this and that. No, you guys are crazy just like me.
Yeah.
That's where I realized like these friends are meant for me.
Yeah.
They ain't perfect, you know. It's not like, oh, church people, they're gonna be all
Yeah.
serious, they're gonna judge you. No, man, you guys were just crazy like myself. And so that's where I was like, okay, man, this is what I was praying for. Because at the time I didn't have friends. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just praying for friends here at church.
Yeah.
And then God blessed it. I went from church to church, and I just didn't feel it at any church. And then I was like, San Bernardino, there's this church called The Way. That's kind of far. I won't go. Let me find everything around here. And I couldn't find nothing good that
Oh
like
wow.
really interests me as in like a church I was looking for. And I
Right.
found it in The Way. And I was like, I had to make a decision. Am I gonna drive this far every single week or not? And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's do it. And then I fell in love with the church. And then, that's when you guys started the Power of 12s, and you took me under your wing, bro. And that helped
Yeah.
me a lot, bro.
But I like what you said though, that it's not like there's any bad churches,
Yeah.
but it is definitely like important to connect
Yeah.
with the group that you're going, with the
Exactly.
church that you're going with. Like you have to
Mhm.
connect. You have to have that connection. Like
Right.
you and I, like we clicked right away. Like right now, it doesn't
Yeah,
even feel
bro.
like a podcast. Like
I
we're
know,
just,
man. It ain't even a podcast, just a hangout, and then it's on
exactly.
tape.
Now you get to have a little insight on our hangout time.
Exactly, bro.
But I like that because like maybe there's some people listening here today that
Yeah.
they're just like, oh well, I just can't find the right church, or
Yeah.
how do I know if I'm at the right church? But I love
Yeah.
that, if you have a connection with
Mhm.
the people,
Mhm.
like you have to, it has to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like it it's not just about going to church, but it's about fellowship and
Yeah.
who you hang out with. And
Most definitely.
yeah. So what actually, now it's gonna be like me asking you the
Yeah.
you the
Ask me,
question.
bro.
So what did you like? Like what was it that what was it specifically? If you could find something specific that you liked about the church.
There was three things that I had on the checklist that I was looking for in a church. Number one would have had to been like, for instance, the teaching, right? That it was Bible
Super
based.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, not that, it was not Bible based. So I was looking for that. And I checked my list. Like, dude, Pastor Marco, when he preaches,
Right.
he's preaching like straight from the Bible.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number two, just I was looking for fellowship, right? Because I was like, I want a church where I'm gonna do life with believers, not a
Yeah.
church where I'm gonna attend, but I'm not really gonna be as close with the people.
Right.
And number three, I believe was there was one more thing I was looking for in a church. It'll come to my mind right now, bro. But those were the main two right there. Yeah, just the community was one of them.
Super
Another
important.
one was the teaching, right? Oh yeah, number three, just for people to be on fire for God, as in like,
Right.
it's not, oh, we preach this and then like, Monday comes, Friday comes, we're out here doing something else that's not godly, right? I was looking for a church that
Exactly.
would really live by holy standards. And
Doesn't
so
just like talk to talk, but like walks to walk too, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
bro. So that's what I found at the church, man, and that's what
That's
really
awesome.
attracted me about the Wayward Outreach. And then also the fact there's just so many bonuses, like things I didn't even ask for in a church that the Wayward Outreach has.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, man, this is my church.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's so
bro.
cool.
And I drive 45 minutes for you guys that don't know. 45 minutes when there's no traffic is what I drive to church.
Or
When
an
there's
hour and 2 minutes, I found out today,
an
if
hour and
there
two
is traffic.
minutes when there's traffic,
Yeah,
but worth it.
too worth it.
Yeah, and so one question that I wrote here that I would love for you to answer, bro, is
Yeah.
what's a time in your life where you were at rock bottom, where you just gave it to God and he took care of it? For me, right? Like I was living in anxiety for so long, and then, I was fearing about sicknesses that I thought I had. And
Mm,
then I came to a point where I had to just give it to God, and then He ended up healing me. For you, though, what would be like a story where you reach rock bottom? And it doesn't have to be like for example, my story. It can be anything. It can be
okay.
relationship wise. It could be things that you dealt with in your mind or anything. What is something a point in your life where you reach rock bottom,
Okay, that's a really
and
good
then God,
question.
God was the one that healed you from it?
Well, the talk is real then. There you
Talk is
go.
real.
The talk is real. So hitting rock bottom, that's actually kind of around the time where I ended up going to the way.
Mm,
So well, you know this. I used to be married before, and
okay.
I went through a divorce,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's anything. I know how people usually label it like, oh, it was a very difficult divorce,
Yeah.
but I think that there's no divorce that's not difficult,
Right. Oh, I
right?
bet there's not.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible says that when you marry someone, you become one with them.
Hmm.
So there's absolutely no way for two people that become
Right.
one to be separated without some collateral
Hmm.
damage.
Yeah.
So I had just finished going through the divorce, and um, without going into a lot of the specifics, I mean,
Yeah.
it obviously it leads you, it leaves you very feeling very vulnerable, especially as a
Yeah.
man. You know, um, so there's just a lot involved in that. There's a lot of healing that has to happen. Like I
Yeah.
said, you become torn apart.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find healing,
Hmm.
and of course, like I didn't grow up a Christian. Like I grew up in a Christian household, but
Hmm.
I wasn't a Christian
Yeah.
back then. I didn't become a Christian until like my last year of high school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had a pretty good relationship with God, but you never really know
Right.
how your relationship really is if everything's going well.
Right.
It's until you get to those trials, those tribulations, those times where things aren't so great that you actually see how
Hmm.
sturdy your faith is.
Yeah.
So I try to find healing
Hmm.
in just promiscuity, just uh sex, and just in other people,
Right.
and just trying to just make myself feel better.
Yeah.
If anyone has been in that situation, you will understand exactly what
Yeah.
that feels like.
Hmm.
um so I think that the part that made me hit rock bottom the
Yeah.
most was that how you betray your own convictions,
Mm.
especially as a Christian. Like, what to do, and the Bible says that a sin is knowing what to do and not doing it, or
Hmm.
doing the opposite of it, or doing what pretty much betrays your convictions, and that
Yeah.
eats away from you at the inside.
Hmm.
Like every time you do something that you're not supposed to do, like it chips away at your conscience,
Hmm.
and it ends up, you do it with the intentions of making yourself feel better,
Right.
but what it end up doing is it makes you feel worse.
Hmm.
It makes you feel more empty and more hurt. And when I went through that situation, and like the divorce, and
Hmm.
just that time in my life, like I ended up trying to find healing in the wrong
Mm.
way, the wrong places. And
Yeah.
like I said, it just left me more and more and more empty. And at the same time, like, I don't know if you could relate, but so many people could be disappointed in you,
Hmm.
and that's okay to a certain point.
Yeah.
But when you're disappointed in yourself,
Yeah.
that's when it's hard.
Mm.
When you feel like you failed yourself, you betrayed yourself
Wow.
because you knew what to do,
Yeah.
and you purposely went out and
Mm.
messed up.
Yeah.
So I think that was a part that made me hit rock bottom, because it was, yeah, like
Hmm.
I felt like I failed myself.
Yeah.
And it's easy to not easy, because it's hard to forgive someone that hurts you.
Yeah.
It's hard to forgive someone um, that did all of these things. But I think the hardest thing to do is forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So I was able to forgive so many people in my life,
Yeah.
including my ex-wife.
Mm.
But I think what ended up, like, that it took me a lot
Mm.
is to forgive myself for doing all that.
Right.
So that's the part where I was at my lowest.
Mm. And how did you overcome it?
Well, through a lot of prayer,
Yeah.
freedom at the way
Oh,
was really, really
freedom, man.
helpful. That was super helpful. Um, Only because, like, there really is that is freedom in releasing that, in
Yeah.
releasing yourself, and not blaming yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, taking responsibility.
Hmm.
I think this is the part that really brought freedom to me.
Yeah.
It was like, you have to take responsibility for what you did.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Hmm.
And being accountable, and being self-aware, and being like, okay, what did I do
Hmm.
that or didn't do
Right.
that led me to get to
Hmm.
this point?
Mm-hmm.
that's rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want, if you do those same things, you're going to end up in the same place.
Right.
So that was really important. But what brought freedom was not allowing the shame to set in,
Yeah.
because that's why one of my favorite scriptures is that now there is no condemnation for those who are in Jesus Christ and are called
Amen.
according to his purpose. So
Yes.
once you get back into alignment with the word, back into alignment with the will of God, now there
Mm-hmm.
can't be any more condemnation, because now you're finding yourself back in the purpose, in that straight and narrow
Right.
path, right? So that's where that freedom came in, like being able to
Mm.
be like, okay, I messed up. I take responsibility for the decisions that I made that led
Yeah.
me to get here.
Yeah.
But I learned from my mistakes. I got
Yeah.
back on the right path. Now I have to get that shame off of me. I
Mm.
have to get, I have to stop allowing myself to relive my mistake
Yeah.
and to identify myself by my mistake.
Yeah.
We are not the sum of our mistakes.
Yeah.
We are not the, like, we don't deserve that. Now through Christ, like, we don't have to pay for our mistakes. Like, you
Mm.
literally leave them at the cross
Yeah.
and walk away. Don't keep
Right.
unpinning them and pinning them back on yourself. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that. Like, we're not sinners. We're not immoral. We're not
Yeah.
just anything that you could say. Like, you're not all of those sins.
Right.
We are forgiven.
That's
We're
right.
loved. We're called. Like, he took a. If we could have gotten rid of all of our sins, then
Mm.
what was the point of the cross? But we
Exactly.
couldn't. So it's like when I stopped trying to make up for my sins,
Right.
that's when I was able to get my freedom.
That's amazing, bro. And first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that, man.
Yeah,
I
of
know
course.
there's probably people that are watching that have gone through your situation. And even though it's a tragedy, the good thing about tragedies is that you're able to share not only what you've gone through, but
Right.
share it to others how to overcome it, whether it's
Exactly.
unforgiveness or in your case, divorce, or, for those that are battling right now, you kind of give them the hope that it's not like, oh, a divorce happens and your life is over. No, bro. Now look at you, man. You're doing so great in life. You've
Right.
taught me so much. You've taught so many other men of God, like even more. And bro, the good cool thing about this is only the beginning, bro. You're still
Exactly.
young, bro, and
Exactly.
you're gonna be able to just outreach to a lot of couples. You and also Diana, I know. You guys
Exactly.
are, it's amazing, bro. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes, it can be easy just sharing like stuff like that, but the fact that you shared it, bro, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
bro. But yeah, man, it's awesome. And that's like I said, it's talk is real, man. We get
Talk
real
is
here.
real.
Yeah, man. So now the question I have for you is before we end this podcast, if if you can go 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever, but if the whole world was watching right now, you can even look at the camera when I'm done asking you this, what is one piece strong advice you would give to everybody if they're watching right now, to anybody that's watching? And most people wouldn't go 2 minutes, but you can. So this, you would
Okay.
have to look at the camera and just tell them.
All right. Well, I learned this in this season that I'm in right now. Whatever situation you're in right now, or whatever, under what mentorship you're at, or um, just the circumstances that you're in, just try to learn the most that you can out of it. There is, this season is only that, that's why they're called that. They're called that for a season, because they don't always stay the same.
Right.
So you're only going to be in this season for a certain amount of time. So learn as much as you can from it. Like right now at work, you know, I, I'm in a certain position,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and there was a good mentor that I had, like, right, because it's completely different from where um, what I usually doing, what I learned in my original building that I was in.
Yeah.
So I had to learn everything from scratch,
Right.
right? And he was very good at what he did.
Yeah.
Then he got transferred over to somewhere else, and I had a new boss
Yeah.
that didn't know as much as the other
Mm.
one. He's still really good at what he does, but I was telling my wife Diana that when he left, like, it dawned on me that that was where my growth was going to stop,
Mm.
because I learned everything that I could because he wasn't going to be there anymore.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be a situation. Like there will be a situation that God allows you to go through
Mm.
that he doesn't allow you to go through because of he how am I going to phrase this? Because he just wants you to go through it. It's because we have to learn something. We have to learn a lesson. We have to learn um, a principle or just something that's going to help us out in life. So whatever wherever you're at right now, even if it's a difficult situation or just a job position, or just say a stay-at-home mom or whatever you do, um, there's a reason why God has us going through that. So let's make the most out of that situation and let's learn what God wants us to learn, because sometimes the hardest situations to go through, that's what we learn the most from,
Right.
you know. So right now in the season, I know that I don't know how long God's going to have me in El Paso,
Yeah.
Texas,
Mm.
but what I've learned so far in these last 6 months, I didn't realize that I needed to learn
Hmm.
over there.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't going to be able to learn that here.
Right.
So, wherever you're at, whatever situation you're in, just learn what you can from this situation. Make the most of it, learn from it, grow from it. And yeah, God has a purpose for everything that He does. And even the things that He just didn't necessarily start and He didn't necessarily bring into your life,
Hmm.
those things He will use for His glory, because He
Mm.
doesn't cause everything. Sometimes it's consequences, but
Yeah.
He will use it for His glory, and He will use it to for us to learn and grow from.
Right. That's good, bro. Well, thank you so much, bro, for everything,
Yes,
man.
sir.
That was amazing advice. Honestly, man, I couldn't agree with you anymore, man. Like whatever you're going through, or for you guys or whatever you guys are battling with, learn from it and use it as a way for you to really, for the future, you don't fall for the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like that everything you said, man, and also thank you so much, bro, for everything. You took time out of your vacation in California to come do
Yeah,
this
no
podcast,
worries.
man. It's an honor, bro. Hope you had fun too.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was entertaining,
Yeah,
man. I'm glad to be here.
yeah, awesome, bro. Thank you, bro.
Yes,
Ooh, there we go.
sir.
All right.